This is Gemara Baba Kama Daf Mem Vav, and Baruch Hashem. As we conclude the fourth parak, we'd like to dedicate today's learning and the learning for the month of Teves as an incredible schos aliyas neshama for Aryeh ben Ya'akov. What greater schos for the neshama to have many yidden sitting and learning Daf Yomi together, Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam. Bit of difficult, but yisaitistic as dafim should bring Aryeh ben Rav Ya'akov to a higher place in Gan Eden Shel Maila. We're holding on Memhea Midbeis as we wrap up this fourth parak. We are 6 lines from the bottom. Omar Rav teaches Rav Muad Lekeren Yamin, a fascinating halacha. We've already seen prior that Muad and Tamils are subjective to situation, to days of the week, etc. Now teaches Rav Muad Lekeren Yamin, Einoi Muad Lekeren Small. You could be a muad for one side or for one horn. You could be a muad for your right horn and not for the left. So explains the Gemara Amri, Aliba Deman, whom is Rav talking in? I Aliba Dera Meir, according to Rav Meir, that both a dam and a muad need to do a high level of guarding. Therefore, it would be no difference whether it's a muad for the right, it's a muad for a left. Lamaisa, you have to do a shmir bula for both. Iya liba de Rav Yehuda, if we're going according to the opinion of Rav Yehuda, Ma'iri Ken small. I feel it be minami isbeit sad tamils. According to Rav Yehuda held that built within every muad is a tam. Sad tambos b'mekayim medis, that a muad is, for all intents and purposes, a tam plus. So ask the Gemara, according to Rav Yehuda, according to Rav Yehuda, it should make no difference again. Why? Because you're telling me that the right it's a muad, the left is a tam. But according to Rav Yehuda, even if it's done with the left, both left and right horn are going to be the same, because you always have that sad tam, and then built on top of that is the sad muad. Says the Gemara, v'isbei tzad tamos, v'isbei tzad muadais. So whose shita is Rav going according to, that we're going to have a practical difference, that it's only a muad l'karen yamin and not l'karen small. Explains the Gemara, Amri loylam Rav Yehuda. Really, we're going within the shita Rav Yehuda v'loisir to Rav Ada bar Ava. However, when Rav is saying this halacha, that muad l'karen yamin is not a muad l'karen small, is disagreeing with Rav Ada bar Ava. V'hachi kamar, and this is exactly what Rav is saying. Ki hai gavna hu de mishkachas b'atzad tamos uma'adas. Only in this case, in the case in which it's a muad for the right horn and not a muad for the left horn, that's a case that you have the tzad tamos, that you have the tzad muadais. However, Aval, as we turn over to Memvavam and Aleph, muad legamri, loi mishkaches tzad tamos klal, and Rashi points out that that is the detail that Rav is being mechadish. That even though Rav is going within the shita of Rav Yehuda, however, he does not hold of the way that Rav Ada bar Ava explained Rav Yehuda. What is Rav Ada bar Ava? He holds that Rav Ada bar Ava was the one that was mechadish satambus b'mekayim medes. Therefore, there will always be the chiyah of tashlumim for the first chatzi nezek. That is what Rich Rav is disagreeing to, and that's going to be what comes out of his din of it could be a muad l'karen yamin and not a muad l'karen small. We continue on the second line of Memvavam and Aleph, quoting the Mishnah, Rav Elazar Aimer ein leishmira elasakin. So we have 3 shitas in the Mishnah as to how much a shmira the shar needs. A 4th shita was brought by the Gemara. Rav Elazar, perhaps the most extreme shita, held there's no way to watch a muad. You can watch it as best as you can, but at the end of the day, if it damages, you are liable. Only way to watch a muad is by killing it. Amar Rabba, Explains the Gemara. My time of the Rav Elazar. Where did Rav Elazar get this din from? The Amar Kra, the pasuk says, "V'lo yishmerenu." Pasuk says, and he did not watch it. And from there, Rav Elazar darshins, "Shov ein lo yishmira lazeh." There's no way to watch it. Not just practically you didn't, but there is no way to. If that which you're going to darshin, the fact that v'lo yishmerenu and he didn't watch it shows that there's no way to watch it. Based upon that, asks Abaye v'lo yechasenu. It says with regard to a bar, and he dug a pit in Rosh Hashanah and he didn't cover it. So asks Abaye, v'lo yechasenu nami shov ein lo kisu lazeh. Are you also going to tell him there's no way to cover it? Maybe achanami, maybe indeed, but tanan. We learned in a Mishnah, Kisahu Karoi. We learned in a Mishnah that what happens, Kisahu Karoi v'nafal l'teichai, shar oichamaru meis pater. We learned in a Mishnah, if he covered it properly, and it still did damage, then what's the halacha? Lachas he's pater. So how can you tell me there's no way to watch it? Ela Amar Abaye, Hainu time of Rav Elazar. As follows, Kiditanya, we learned in our Brayso, Rav Nasan Omer, Minayin shle'igadol adam kelev rabbatach beisai. How do we know one should not raise, one should not have in his house a kelev ra, a bad dog, an evil dog? We've learned this right in the Gemara Ksubis. And one has to be careful not to have a rickety ladder. You can't have any item that potentially could damage within your property. Shenemar says, or Rav Nasan, we learned this out from, you should not put dam inside your house. That is the makar, and that's going to be the makar of Rav Elazar, that ein lo shmira ella bisakin hajon alach shar shanagach arba v'chamisha. Should do an incredible chazara, and the truth is, it's a great time for chazara because the next parak, as you see, is also called Shar Shanagach. Here it's called Shar Shanagach Chesapara, but it's really a continuation. So let's, without even pausing, dive straight into the Mishnah. Says the Mishnah, Shar Shanagach Chesapara. We have a shar that called a para, a cow, killed the cow, and then v'nimsa obra besida, you find next to the cow an obra, a fetus. Vein yodua, and we do not know. We do not know when it did this cow have the miscarriage. Was it pre the negicha or was it post the negicha? Was it due to the negicha or not? The halacha is, says the Mishnah, Chazinazik lepara, Ravia nezik levad. You have to pay chatzi nezik for the cow and quarter damages for the vlad. V'chein, and similar says the Mishnah, Parash Nachas Ashar, in the reverse case, Nimsa Vlada Besida, Vein Yadua Machalei Nacha Yalda Mishanacha Yalda Mishlam Chatzi Nezik Min HaPara, Ravia Nezek Min HaVlad. So the din of the Mishnah, the din in which a vlad is now getting involved, we do not know whether the negicha is that which contributed to the miscarriage or not. What do you pay? You pay the regular chatzi nezik for the para, and for the vlad, you have to pay revia nezik. Says the Gemara, where does this din of revia nezik, or quarter damage, come from? Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel, Zu divrei sumches. The Mishnah reflects the famous but minor opinion, minor being that he argues with the Rav, of Sumches Das Yachid. Damar Maman Amotel Besafik. Cholkin Av Chachamim Maimrin, they disagree. The Chachamim Ozaklal Kol Bedin HaMoitzi Mechaveroi Olav Haraya. According to the Chachamim, anytime we're not sure what's the halacha, the halacha is Olav Lahavi Raya. You have to bring a proof. So if the cow owner wants to get paid back for the vlad, for the fetus, they would have to bring proof that it happened as a result of the goring. So says the Gemara, Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel, the Mishnah is sumches, and that's why you have to pay Revia Nezik for the Vlad, a quarter damages, as it is half of the half of Chatzi Nezek, and then half of that, because you pay a quarter. Asks the Gemara, why did the Braisa have to conclude that Zaklal Kol Bedin Amot Love Araya, Zaklal Gadol Badin? Why do we need this last line? Explains the Gemara, I need it. Ta'afilu Nizik Omer Bari, Omazik Omer Shem. The one that got damaged is certain how it happened, and the one that damaged is not sure. Still, Hamaitzi Mechavera Olav Araya. Hamaitzi Mechavera wins even against the Tainas Bari. Even if the Mazik says he doesn't know. And then he says, I do know that the goring caused the miscarriage. Still, if the Nizik wants to get compensated, he wants to be Maitzi, he wants to extract money from the Mazik, he has to bring a Raya. Ask the Gemara, Inami, if this is true, Inami, another shot as why it says Zaklal. L'chi, Inami, l'chi hadet mar. Ha-moicher shar l'chaver v'nim senachon. Rav Amar is a mekach tois, Shmuel Amar. It's not a mekach tois, it's not a sale that reverts, not a false premise sale. Why? I sold it to you for shchita. Therefore, you can say that's why it's an achon, it's not a problem. So I asked the Gemara, we shall see. He gaver the zav in the radia, he gaver the zav in the nechsaya. Why do we just see? Did the guy usually purchase the axe for plowing, l'radia, or for slaughtering? So why is it a good taina that, I thought you wanted for such and such? Says the Gemara, the case of the Brisa is begavra the zavin laha. Ulaha, it's a song that does for both. Says the Gemara, what do you mean? There are different prices for a plowing animal versus an animal for shchita. Says the Gemara, the oiker bisra, the case in which Rav and Shmuel are disagreeing is where the price of meat went up, and the price of meat went up, and now the animal's worth the same price if it's for shchita or if it's for plowing. So it says the Gemara, okay, 1 second, Amri, if that is true, as we turn over to Vem Vavam Beis, V'i Leklish Talui Me Mine, Lishkale Litura. Says the Gemara, if there's no money to take from, why does Rav say you return the shar? Lishkale Litura Bizuzi, let him hold on to the ox in payment of money. Damri and she Mimare Rishuvasach Pari. Apara, as people say, for the one who you're collecting the payments from, if someone owes you money, then collect from anything, even apara, even from the lowest, cheapest stuff. Says the Gemara, says the Gemara, what we're talking about is where in the case of that the seller has nothing else to collect from aside for this animal, that is the machloek. So now that we finally understand the case, now the Gemara ties it together with the machloek as Rav and Shmuel. 4 lines down, Mavav and Beis Rav Amar, Harizem Mekach Tois, and therefore Zalbasa Rubav, Rubadin Shila Radu Dezavin, Ushmuel Amar Yachal Shamar, Loyal Shchidim Echarti Lacha, even though you might have arrived, he's still able to tie no. I sold you for the shchita, v'loi azlina basar ruba. We don't go after Rav. Why not? Because ki azlina basar ruba. When do we go? When do we follow the majority? Is bi'isura. Aval, however, when it comes to Mayna, lo azlina basar ruba, and that is how Shmuel would answer up what the machlekes is, and therefore which is what Shmuel said. And that's the machlekes Rav and Shmuel and how to learn up what's going on in this case. Continues the Gemara, Tanya Nami Hachi, I'll bring you a right to which we just said. Shar Shanakasa Parvinim so Rabisida Vein Yadua Imach Leinacha Yaldam Shanacha Yaldam Mishan Chatzin Nazik Lapara or Via Nazilavad Divrei Chacham Divrei Sobchis. Mom is proving the point that we just said, that according to Sumches, that is going to be the halacha of Yachlaiku, and therefore that's the reason why you would pay Chatzi for the counter of year for the Vlad. But according to the Chachamim, Hamoitzi Mechaveroi Olav Araya. Continues the Gemara about 13 lines from the Y lines. First line is Shmuel, Amar Rav Shmuel Bar Nachmeni Minayin. Leimoitzi Mechaveroi Olav Araya. A fundamental shayla. Where do we know this Yesod? That when Ruvain wants to extract money from Shimon, Ruvain has to bring proof in order to take money away. Shenamar says in the Torah, Mi Baal Devarim Yigash Aleihem. Whoever has a Baal Devarim, whoever has a Taina, should approach them. Yigash Raya Aleihem, which means bring a raya. If you want to extract money, you have to bring a raya that the guy indeed owes you. Ask the Gemara 1 second. Svaro. Why do you need a pasuk? It's a svara, and of course the big yesod in Gemara. Anytime we can know something logically, why base it on a pasuk? What's the svara? The one who's in pain goes to the doctor. The one who wants to extract money, he's the one that clearly has to bring proof. So why do we need a pasuk for this? Ella says the Gemara, Amar Kra, Lechler Rav Nachman, Amar Rabba Ravua, Amar Rav Nachman, Amar Rabba Ravua. Minayim, for where do we know? Shein is kakin. Ella, L'toivei Atechila. From where do we know that the Bezdin only gets involved with the Teiveya, the one making the claim first? And Amar, Mi Valdvarim Yigash Aleihem, Yagish Devarim Aleihem, which we darshan to bring words to the Dayanim. Amrin Hardai, Pa'amim, Sheinizgak, Nitva, Techila. There are times that indeed the Nitva comes first. Why? Echadami, Tekazil Nechsei, in which the properties are going down in value, then the Nitva will be allowed to tie in the first in Bezdin. We'll stop over here. I'll pick it up for Chimpar in the next year. Siyata Dishmaya.